Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar today with JTrader, Stocks Trader. We do this every Wednesday with JTrader at 10 a.m. East Coast time. And the whole Guten Morgen, Mikloko. Yeah, we just came from the webinar with Oliver in German. Like we said, we're branching out. Want to reach other traders from around the globe here and provide quality content. Oliver is certainly delivering that. JTrader here, well, he's been delivering quality content for quite a while. He's a stock trader. He's going to go through his live trading, what he looks at in the order flow, and how he manages and optimizes his trading, and also trader psychology in here. All right, so you guys know who JTrader is. He's been trading for quite a while, since since 18 years old. I do have some contact information I'll put into the chat so you can reach out to him directly. He does offer mentorship. And we got to go through the disclosures, and then we'll jump right into the markets here. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only, and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, let's jump in here and let's take a look at the markets here. JTrader will be in shortly. He always comes in late. He's finishing up his room, so in about 10 minutes he'll be in. In the meantime, we can go through the general market, and then this will provide a very nice foundation to look at the individual stocks that he is trading. Okay, so well, let's take a look here on what's going on, and we're going to kind of piggyback off of some of the content that we covered yesterday. I thought yesterday's webinar was really good. It encapsulated a lot of the bits and pieces we've been talking about in several webinars. If you guys are interested in that, let me show you where it is on our YouTube channel. Just scroll down here. It is this video here. Okay, higher time frame, market structure, market mechanics, and let's see, what else is it? Market mechanics, patterns, and trade management. Okay, a lot of stuff in here. Really good stuff. So let's continue on and apply what we learned from the previous webinar. And we're going to start with very simple thing: who's in control of the market? Okay, what's driving this market? It is traders. Therefore, we're looking for order flow. Who's in control in these time frames? Now, look who's in control in this time frame. Okay, nobody. It's all over the place. A move up, a move down, down into high liquidity here, a move back up. Look at these guys here. So traders trying to bring it up to this 37.20 right now, and trying to break out here. So looking pretty good. We go with that. Pretty strong volume here. Looking for just 37.20 right now. This is would be a scalp, maybe a little bit higher, maybe up here, because if this is strong enough volume, we'd be looking for it to continue on up a little bit higher here. So maybe about 22. But liquidity is here at 20. All right. Now we got to be very careful though with these kinds of breakouts. It is strong. It's only, well, it's 3 points. That's good. Or more than that, a little bit more than that. So that's good. We're looking for strong volume with a strong move. And we look for the continuation. Okay. So far it's been a low volume pullback here. Okay. This has been a pullback right to here. Look at that. Right to 15. Okay. And we're looking for now more buyers to come in, and we just didn't get them. Okay, we're back and forth in this little area in here. All right, so this is a tricky trade. The main overall direction is here to 37.20. Okay, We're going to go with that. We got to go through the opposite scenario because it is a little tricky in here. Opposite scenario is, what if we find a lot of sellers down here, big red dots down here at 14? Then we're looking for this to break and then come right down into 10, and then maybe down into these lower levels in 3,700, the figure. Okay, so that would be a false breakout here. Now this encapsulates right here, this little fractal move that we're witnessing right now encapsulates many of the things we've just been talking about over these last several webinars, okay, and yesterday's. Okay, so we go through these different scenarios here, but we want to see who's in control. Okay, now we're back up here when we find our buyers. Okay, so you know, the buyers are in control. We're looking for this move to unfold, 20 and 22. Okay, still like it, and looking for it. And we stick with that until we see that second scenario here, right, which might unfold. We never know, but we go through what the order flow would look like, and that scenario will set us up for what might unfold next and where price might go next. And that's what these webinars are all about. Okay, so we're sticking with this direction until we see something different. All right, now this is a small trade example. Okay, now it's not a recommendation, but it's just going through order flow and understanding who's in control in areas here. Okay, so look at the sellers come in trying to upend maybe these buyers here. Okay, but this is where it broke out from. We still stick with it here. Okay, not be shaken out of this at this time yet. Okay, we'd be shaken out if we see the big red dots down here around 13 or 12 and a half. Okay, so yeah, we're sticking with that until we see something different. All right, so anyway, we'll come back and take a look at this here and see what unfolds, because I want to go through the bigger picture and set this up. Good morning, Tony. Aloha. So let's zoom out, and bigger picture is like we said, is kind of all over the place right now, but we also want to look at, hold on here, and let me get this all set up. Okay, bigger picture. All right, so we're going to go through this here, and I think we're going to continue maybe these advanced webinars looking at these bigger pictures, so like the daily, the hourly, and the 15-minute here. Right, so the daily is kind of all over the place as well. We see the move back up into this pocket here where it dropped from. That was this island we talked about at length yesterday. We came up and filled that, and then the open, we went right back down into these lower levels, and we talked about that as well. And that was the direction we were looking for. Okay, so we covered a lot of good points about that. So again, I really recommend that you watch yesterday's webinar, and maybe that is helpful for you. Right now on this hourly chart, if we look here, we see some buyers coming in. We see some buying tails in here in the wicks. It's not a whole lot to look at, though, to be honest. So let's look at the 15-minute chart. All right, so there's some buying pressure in here. They were able to bring it back up into this 44, 45 area up here, and we see the move right back down. Here's our open. Okay, and then we see a bit of buying coming in right now. That's what we just witnessed in Bookmap. Okay, so maybe they can reach back up here around 22, maybe up to 31. Okay, we don't know quite yet. We're looking to see who's going to take control here. It looked like the buyers, and we're prepared for that. We went through the other scenario and what it would look like if the sellers came in. Now, if we start to see some sellers come in, this could be a pretty powerful move to the downside. All right, so we'd be looking around, see this 02 right here, 3702, and we see big sellers down here. We have the potential for a pretty big drop, and we'll keep an eye out for that. On the hourly, if we see that below that 02, we'd look for a move probably down into about these areas in here just to begin with, around 85 maybe. and then you know, it could come, we could see a big day all the way down to like these levels in here. That would be 67, 47, and a gap fill here at 21. Okay.
Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Joseph. How are you?
Good morning, buddy. Good. I'm over here with three traders today by my station.
Excellent, excellent. So we'll jump right in here, guys. I just wanted to finish up with this here and this analysis. So we didn't even get to 20 here. We were looking for it, and we see it chop down below here and sellers down below here, and look at, they're coming already right back up. So this was tricky in here, and it remains tricky right now. To be honest. Anyway, Joseph, let's get going. Let me share your screen, and we will rebroadcast it here.
Okay, let me know, Bruce, if you can see my monitor.
Yes. Okay.
Mounting
All right,
mode.
Joseph, you're all set.
All right, so good morning, traders. 10:15 over here. So this morning, I would say very flat market in the small cap land. We had earnings on Netflix. So Netflix had a 15% plus overnight gapper. As you know, when we have earnings season, we tend to have less small caps gappers because the market seems like that. It's cyclical, okay? So every single time, earnings, less small caps. So main focus for me this morning was Netflix. We were going to have Tesla and others these days. This morning, I want to cover here the play that we traded. This is SOBR. SOBR, we're talking about a very small market cap company, 29 million. We have a 5 million float over here. Show float 12%, institutional very small, around 2%. And was a gap around 30% this pre-market. So I just wanted to point out over here what we had. A lot of these small caps, how they work. So they need to raise cash. So they're using the press release to bring some cash over here to their company. This morning we had open to the VWAP, which is this red line. So you can see the red line over here, 320. The high of the day was 346, 345. You can see that we open, and on this bar, this red bar, we are looking for stuff. So what they usually do over here is create a fake out, also called fake breakout. We had a push above that 325. So the room over here this morning, we got a short into the 322, 321. Now, the point is that it's not unwinding as it should, because it arrived over here to $2.98, which is this dip over here. And main target for me remains 280. What it did over here is starting to hold. You can see the 3 over here, some support. So this level over here that you see this orange means we start having buyers. We had the first breakout over here, 306. So you can see this line. We started having more buyers. So they were buying dips here, here, here. So we have bulls over here. Again, they buy this dip. And then just at this moment, I was saying one thing. Few seconds before that happened. So over here, you can see 9:54, right? 9:54, this is my time, 3:54 in Italy. I said 328, push and fail, short the bid, 3 cents stop. And what we did, we took the trade. 328 was this, we push above, and this is another fake out, which is often happens in the small cap land, to take the short. I said 3 cents stop. We had the push to 332. When it comes down, that's your short 328 exactly here, 227, 228. First target 310. And then we were looking for this next target, never come. So when you have the curl, exactly here, you have this curl, you have to get out quickly. Now, The same process we're going to check after also Netflix, but it's the same exact thing. Finally, we had, you can see this trend line break. Sellers. Over here, Bruce, I know he likes it that I mentioned. So we had 2 times sweep indicator working. So with Bookmap, you have access to the sweep indicator. You will see it over here. So stop loss of long traders, so bulls, stop loss. So if you are long, let's say over here, okay, you buy, let's say 10,000 shares at $3.12, 15. You wait for that previous relative low, okay, to stop. Generally, this is the, say, the psychology, the price action theory of traders. So you will stop out of here. Of course, you have, let's say, a little bit of lag. You don't have, like, the fastest computer in the world. You don't have the fastest connection in the world. Probably your stop loss will go over here. So you're basically long over here around 315, 316. You stop out at 302. Now you're mad because the price is back up where you stopped it, where you bought it. This is what you have to trade in small cap land, right? So you never have to trade, and don't get me wrong, you never have to trade trend following. The majority of small cap traders have to learn to trade counter trend. So you short when it's high, you buy when it's low. All right. It's not like, you check Tesla of yesterday, Monday, Friday, you have the trend. Small caps do this. That's the, I would say, general rule in the last 3 months in the small cap land. It's a good environment for scalpers. Now, what I'm looking over here, 10-15, sideways action. I don't like sideways action. You like it? No. We don't like lateral. We don't like sideways. It's not moving over here. So what I'm looking to do, I'm looking for this area to short. So on a maxi clear out, we had 1, 2nd, and now 3rd. Only this peak, I will look to short SOBR, okay? So we had the first fake out over here, Bookmap, 2nd fake out over here. Okay, let's put a 3rd one in this area. If we have this, we meet these conditions, we're gonna probably have, again, target 310. Make sense, guys? Let me know if it's clear, but that's the process that we have to do. AMPX halted in the meantime. We have a stock in the meanwhile halted, AMPX. So this stock is having over here an extension of 36% from the open. We have a float of 18 million, market cap 530 million, volume 1 million over here traded. We have a main daily resistance at 9. So we're talking about an extension play. Yeah, I will just wait this for $9 resistance area. So I'm going to explain my thesis on this one. This is the chart that you can see traders on AMPX. By the way, CWC, thank you for the alert, buddy. Spot on. So let's put over here our levels. First of daily resistance. So I'm putting over here the levels where the price stalled. You can see over here, last time price got to this point and then failed. Got to this point and then failed. So if the price goes to that level, possible a rejection short. 908, 990. And then we have this level over here, which is higher, 1233, faded. This is a daily, it's an hourly chart, okay, traders, hourly chart. And then we can put this level over here. Now, the last thing, if you want to be, say, putting really everything, we're going to put also the fib retracement. So you're going to see in light green. These are my fibs. Now we're ready. Okay. So waiting for what? For this 9908 area. So I'm waiting for this area over here. Remember, this is hard to borrow, so you have to borrow the stock over here. I'm going to check heat map, selling, supply area. So these are all the orders of sellers placed on the market. And I'm waiting here. If I have a fail below, I don't care. I mean, you can scalp it if you're a scalper. I'm waiting for this area. Clear, guys? Yeah, and you can put over here on the YouTube, like in the description or in the chat, like a yes or a question. Feel free to interact with us. So it's very spready, you can see, right? Very spready, low liquidity. Meanwhile, we have Netflix. So I'm running on the monitors. I'm looking at Netflix. You see that 279, 280, possible fake out short. This morning we already had with Bookmap together. We had two alerts for short, this point and this point for scalping setups. Okay, so I'm looking for this short. I'm gonna put Netflix. Remember, we had earnings. While we are looking to trade over here is a fake out. Thank you. Also a push right now on SLBR. Okay, SLBR. So over here we had the first stuff on Netflix, but I want to check SLBR with you guys. Remember what we said? We're looking for that fake layer out of 332 area. This. Okay. So this is no, questa è NTV, scusami. Adesso è questo. Questa è NTV. Ok. Ok, qui vedi. So right now the market is bouncing. Yes, is that 200 million on the 5. We have a little bit of bounce on MMTV. I'm waiting SOBR and Netflix, those two only. You need a lot of patience over here, okay? A lot of patience. Remember, today the market is a little bit slow. Patience over here, traders. We're still grinding. There's a trader next to me that is trading Netflix. Okay, so these are the level of Netflix. Netflix still holding, so let's wait for this. There we are, SOBR pushing. So let's flip to SOBR. Watching that 332. Netflix watching for 279, 280. And I'm not watching, for a big reversal. I'm only watching if we have a stuff in that level. So over here, as you can see, we had another small stuff on SOBR, but this is not my entry. I'm waiting for the previous high. Every time the stock broke the previous high, faded. Okay, so here, here, and now we're waiting for this level. So holding over here 90 MA, holding support 318. We're talking about this micro support. Before, when we had this clear out and subsequently the reversal over here, okay, the fail, it happened very quick, and also over here very quick. This means, like, don't get distracted, be prepared. In the meantime, I have to look at Netflix. Solo nel tuo livello. That's a fake out of here, Netflix. Level to short, 278 and 60. The risk, 279. Remember what I just said, we're watching for 279 or 280 fake out, right? Holding 9 MA. Now the trail has to be 278 and 60. So if it breaks 90 MA, first target 277. out. It's not an A plus setup. We're looking for a daily fake out level.
Yeah, Joseph, I think that's a real key element there.
What is?
That makes it so much more higher probability. You're looking for a daily fake out level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you look over here, I'm going to put this, and it can still happen a second fake out, okay? If we look over here, traders, we had after hours high at 279. So we're looking for the fake of that level over here. So we're looking for stuffing candles.
Yeah.
So this is still not a stuff. Now the stuff would be 279 and 30. Pop in, fail to short. Just making over here an outside bar. Seems like, something like an engulfing. Break of the support. Again, this is not the perfect setup that I wanted. So this is not the reason for me to enter. If it goes down, it's fine.
Yeah, Joseph, I kind of want to discuss that a little bit with you, if you don't mind, because you're looking for this to unfold. You're looking at your daily levels. You're looking for a daily break. You know that that's higher probability. If it fails, it will go back into the range, and it's doing something, but it's leaving you high and dry, at least for the moment. How do you deal with that mentally?
It's like you will never get all the setups. You will never get all the fades, all the longs. So it's just about, knowing that your A plus setup will pay you the majority of the cases. So I don't simply need to trade everything. I can wait a whole day without taking a trade. And that is the mentality that a trader should have. So you don't need to trade every single moment, but only when you have your A plus setup. Okay, getting over here in SOBR, you're gonna get a stuff. Remember what I said, 332, that's a stuff. That's a stuff. That's a stuff. Okay, so remember what I said, 332 fake out, that's your short. Just like a perfect over here fake out, right? Remember what I said a few minutes ago. We're gonna look for fake out 1, fake out 2, fake out 3, boom. Now you put a stop break even. Okay, so just what we said a few minutes ago. Look for that fake out. Very easy. All morning calling the tops over here to short. Of course, you have to be ready and short the bid. So you can see the traps that this market is giving us in the small cap land, right? We're having breakouts. Right away, breakouts are followed by heavy sellers. So breakouts don't work in small cap land. That's the reason why the majority of traders who follow the chat pumps, and we can talk about this freely, is losing money. Who's
Well,
following alerts is losing money.
but there's a lot more to it than just that. What you mentioned, you looked at the fundamentals. You looked at that this company is just trying to raise some cash. They're pumping it. They need that, and therefore you have your reasons for going short with this.
Exactly. Bruce, let me show you something. Two main things for me in the process. A company over here with 29 million market cap and 5 million float. What do you think they're going to do? I mean, what do you think, really honestly, they're going to do? This company over here engages in development, marketing, and sale of a non-invasive alcohol-sensitive system with initial interlock. I didn't even know what that means. Second thing, financially, I mean, I hope this is not your yearly over here balance sheet, Bruce, because okay, you have cash 3.75. That cash is going to be maybe good for 5 months, and your revenue end of the year is 1.5K. Come on, is it really that? Is it really this is serious? And then I go to check the history over here, the company, and I see my stats. But the most important thing, if you don't want to think about all that, you have your resistance. When you have a clear out of resistance and it fails, that's my short. And then I don't care, if this goes like 15 cents like we had this morning, 2 times, or gives me 5 cents and then stop break even. I just care to take, my trade with low risk. This is already my stop break even for the rest. So this was a trade we took. This was a trade we took. Each trade we took was between 2 and 3 cents risk. 2 and 3 cents risk. And we had each time 15 cents. So that's a 5-6 hour return every single time. So over here, and everything I recorded this morning. So what I'm saying is what I'm stating. Over here, we had like what, 3-4 cents and then stop break even. It's fine. Now we're going to look for the next clear out over here, 338. If it goes again, level, push, that's your short. And we're going to do this over and over and over and over and over. Meanwhile, Netflix, this is a sober setup. This is a nice distribution pattern on a lower high. This is a counter trend trade because over here we had this main uptrend this morning. What I like is what I call over here a three-wave pattern. So on a fill of 277, we're going to start looking for a big unwind on Netflix, which would lead probably to 275. So we filled that. This is the lower high on my 1, 2. Breakdown 277. I don't see, unless I reclaim and consolidation of 277, that this will hold. For me, this is a good sell off over here. Yes is rejecting, so possible yes will fuel this this unwind. So let's see. Okay, the price has to stay below 277. Rejection 277 over here. Sellers in control. Boom. Bye bye.
Beautiful.
And look at the sellers over here. I mean, they tried over here to make it bounce a little bit. Sellers in control.
Yep.
Now, what we can see is a 276 support. The next thing I want to do over here is tracing my fibs. So we're going to put some fibs, this high to this low. And we see that 276 is also fib level. So the price is to stay for this possible unwind below this 277. If we reclaim, consolidate, boom, we can push back up.
Joseph, can you show this? This is on the. Can you show the daily chart?
Sorry, buddy. Of
Can you show the daily chart on Netflix? I'm just curious.
course. So just 1 second, traders. Just look at this heat map. They went to absorb it. So let's get to a daily. I'm gonna do like this.
Okay, so there's the earnings. Or no, it boosted. It was for several days. It went higher just due to anticipating earnings, or not. No, it gapped. Okay, I see.
Yeah, a gap this morning of 30 points, 15% in pre-market. And what happened this morning is, technically talking, right, is a dip into this main line that I see over here, this band. This is often an exponential. This is a 200 exponential moving average. Is often a level where we can have a main rejection or a main bounce. And then the price simply went to the high of after hours high, on the earnings. Double top over here, three-way pattern. Now is rejecting this 277. Bear flag over here. We should have a fail till this point.
Yeah, looks good.
Now, this would be a good setup until the price stays below 277. So until the price stays below this trend line.
So just to back up and note a few key points here for your A plus setups is number one. First off, you know exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for a daily, and I know you've said this for years now, but on the higher time frame, something outside of the range. Now you have something because is it going to trend? Is it going to fill the gap? Is it, how is this going to unfold? You look at the fundamentals. You also look at the quantitative data now. And then you look at Bookmap for the really understanding the order flow and how traders are reacting at these levels and where price may go next due to their activity here. So and you have your setups. So there you have a high quality setup due to this really important data that you're looking at. Then you go to look for entries, and yeah, this is how you do it, and just to make sure that others understand, like you may miss some trades, you may, but not it didn't do what you were looking for. That's it. Look for the next trade.
Exactly. So what we made is a playbook strategy, which is formed by a number of patterns that I trade with this market. This is together with Bookmap timing for the order flow execution. And then I use my stats to get and have an edge in the market. This is basically what is about. It's a strategy that has a precise win rate, precise strategy with, I would say, a setup that I trade on a daily basis. Only one thing I wanted to point out, because it's very important to say, and this is just what I wanted to say. 1 second over here. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. So the point is this. Don't trade anything that is out of your playbook. And don't trade anything that you then not back tested, that you not like tested more than once and you know that it's proven and that it's working. All right. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, guys, I put a in the YouTube chat there. There's a poll. Do you guys trade small caps with very low floats like JTrader here? Just get a sense what you guys are looking at. Do you trade these kinds of things? They are very tricky. They move very quickly. But as Joseph just mentioned, this is the setup. And he knows these companies. He knows they're trying to raise money. He knows the game. So he's gaming the system. Basically, he's playing the game here, and uh, and has A+ setups looking precisely for this.
Exactly. So over here we had fake breakdown on Netflix. This is our level of 277. So correct 1, 2, 3 break pattern. Breaks, as we said, if we reclaims and hold the 277, no more setup for the short side. Now where we're looking, again, I will be looking for this fake out over here, this 279 and 30. If you have that level, fakes out, and then unwinds, we're going to trade that again. MMTV is the setup that I just missed, and Chrissy took it. Okay. A trader over here in my room is just today over here in Italy from Canada. He took the trade on this fake out. So beautiful 279, 7.9. Oh, good. So this is the setup over here. It's called extension to the pre-market high. This is the pre-market high, and you can see traders this level. And now we're gonna look at Bookmap and look this, Bruce. Fake out, heat map coming over here at 793. So very nice stop, buddy. Very nice stop. So basically what is, today was for small cap traders, a very low volatile day, low volume day, few gappers. You only need one trade like this. For example, I missed it. I was watching SOBR now, I was watching Netflix. Chris was watching this all single morning. One trade having something like 5 cent stop. Oh, okay. So he had like very, very tight stop. And over here is going for probably 30R, something like that, because right now the price is 750. You need one trade like this to make your daily return. So patience, traders, okay? Patience. And if you don't have any kind of setup, simply avoid. Bruce, you like this fake clear out of here, the heat map, and right away the heat map came back in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see this, buddy? This is the high of day, just like Netflix. Just Netflix work for, like few cents. This worked for 50 cents, 45 cents on a $7 stock.
Yeah, that's. I
But
mean,
look how, and often, sorry if I interrupt you, often this morning a trader was asking me, was telling me, and he was right. He's telling me, Jay, the setups that I see often that I like to trade are the fake outs. And I said, it's totally right. And by fake outs is when they go break on purpose the heat map resistance here, and then they put it back on. And look this, every single high, there are only sellers over here. This is really the setup that I love. It seems so easy, but it's not, because a lot of traders will short here, 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 stop out. And then instead, here's the level where you have to short.
yeah.
So It's about really patience and knowing that level and using Bookmap, because that, if you can see, is the first level where you have the fake out on Bookmap. The
Yeah,
first, buddy.
yeah. That's where you get the edge understanding the order flow.
Exactly. 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 Exactly.
The oh god, what was I going to say about the Netflix? I mean, a
Take
different
a coffee,
animal.
buddy.
I'm sorry.
I said take a coffee.
No, I've had a little too much this morning. The Netflix is a little different animal. I mean, this is
Oh, yeah.
a FANG stock, and it had good earnings. So there's still buyers in here, and
Oh, yeah.
it's going back and forth. However, if you took that short in there, stop to break even, take some off at certain areas, you didn't lose anything, and you are set up for the bigger picture move, and which might still unfold here. It looks like it's about to do it right now.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
now it's going to do this bear flag, and try to break down below into lower levels here.
Yeah. Second lower high. It's first lower high, second lower high over here. Pretty nice. Stuff candle. So let's see. Not in a position over here. Personally, not trading these days over here, focusing on more mentoring traders. But let's analyze over here the price action. Break of the previous low. Target now 275 and 50.
Yeah, beautiful. So how would you well, it was right in front of you. I mean, you kind of you found your setup in your trade, and then where would you get an A plus setup out of it in the last like 5 minutes?
On Netflix.
Yeah.
So this morning I called this setup already 3 times.
Ah,
Uh, Fake out. So fake out stuff. That's the setup. Um, and I can tell you this. So to share why it's a setup, okay? I just before over here at 1004, okay? Just look 1004. You see this bar over here, right? This is 1004. I wrote 275 fake out, breakout, short. Scalp trade mode only. Happened, fake out, 275.50. So that's our short. That's a stuff. So the same exact pattern that we see over here. The same exact pattern that I retrade over and over and over. So nothing crazy, nothing different. This is what I preach that we trade in the room, or that that we have. What I like though is not only analyzing the price action, okay, but it's also looking for the pattern to be confirmed on Bookmap. And what I need over here, two main things: trendline break, rejection for the stuff. Otherwise, Bruce is like, you have the engine, but you don't have the gasoline. So the same thing over here, trendline break. You see that rejection stuff, rejection stuff. The same thing we had at 1004. So 1004 was over here. And I was saying only for a scalp, right? So 1004, we had this level. We had a 275 fake out. That's the level I said, wait for a fake out 275 and 50. That's a level too short. And I don't care, if the stock goes down 20 points. When it goes down already 1-2 points in this uptrend, that's a good trade. That's money.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, and then you're managing your risk along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see this one here played out right to your target. And so, but something like I think you know, we've had some pretty good discussions, I think, lately, and I've kind of dominated. I don't mean to dominate or come in and take you off of your game, but these, I think they've
Oh,
been
I
very.
like, I like uh, the talk you're having over here is pretty interesting for me. So, welcome.
Okay. I mean, it just like one of the things that just seems so clear to me. I mean, first off is the discipline. You're waiting for your setup, and you know, you miss it, so what? Like, look for the next one. Um,
Yeah, but the point, Bruce, is sorry for interrupting. Not always we can have discipline. Trust me, buddy. I've been mentoring some very good traders. I've been talking and trader for cost with other very good traders, talking about 7 and 8 figure traders. All right, and every day we are like fighting to keep discipline. The only way that you will be, I would say, trading safe is when you use softwares to help you out. Because I can have discipline 365 days. One day, I can simply not have discipline and lose what I did in 1 year. So softer means dollar risk with a chart, with a sorry, with a stock, with a broker, hard stop loss always, using hotkeys and all this. Rather than that, if you want to be a professional trader, I mean, don't trade unless you have these to protect you. Even because, you can have like, let's say, what, line output, or uh, you can have like, somebody calls you, get distracted, you're in a trade, the trade reverses news and you lose like, a ton on your account. Always have those risk plays, always, even before taking the trade. Over here, in the meantime, we see a Netflix stair step down pattern. Also, Bruce, you were saying, sorry, discipline and
well, I mean, one of the things that just seems so clear too is you have an understanding, and I think this is a real key for especially a lot of beginner traders. They come into these webinars, or they come into Bookmap, or you know, wherever, and it's like, well, I want it to work now. This is, oh, I understand your setup. I understand what you're looking for, and okay, I'm going to try it out. And they try it out, and like it doesn't work a few times. It works a few times. It doesn't work a few times, and they go, "Oh, this is crap," you know. And then they watch something else on YouTube, or you know, Twitter, and then try something else, and then it's just an endless string of that. Instead of like an understanding here, with your understanding from your discipline, and you, that it's not a single trade, it is all of the trades together. It is probabilities, and for that to sink in, can be, I think, challenging for a lot of traders, because they want to trade now, they want to make money now, but it is over a multitude of trades. uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. What I believe is that the perfect setup, the perfect strategy is only the one that you create. So I see a lot of traders using my setups, my strategies, and they customize it for themselves. Who's a little bit more scalper, who's a little more swing, who's a little more day trader, and it doesn't exist the perfect system, but only you can look to improve and evolve in order to have a goal to become a good trader. Because we're humans, we're going to make always errors. We're not like based on algorithms. So the only way is work on yourself. And trust me, I met really a thousand of traders during my career, thousand of traders who failed, who got successful. And if you don't stop looking for something else, look at Jalen's how they're working over here, Bruce. If you don't stop and look for something else, if you always change strategy, if you always think that the first disappointment, the first stop, you have to change something, you're gonna fail in everything in life. You don't have simply the guts, the stuff. You don't have really the I would say, uh, yeah, the balls to get success in life. So instead of seeing problems and changing something, so like moving to the next thing, moving to the next thing, and always be in that loop, fix yourself first, and then learn how to trade, which it takes a lot of time. A good trader takes at least 3 or 4 years to become a decent trader, good trader. You cannot become a good trader in 2 months, 6 months. So whoever tells me I'm a professional trader after 3 years of trading, I start laughing. That's the nude and crude deal. This doesn't mean, and I don't want to scare traders, you cannot make money in 1 year, but don't pretend to know everything about trading after 3 years of trading and start like, opening an account on Twitter and explaining to traders how to trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think, maybe it's through repetition, or maybe, there's a lot of people, there are, people out there more kind of inclined to understanding, probabilities and statistics, and understanding an edge, building an edge. Most of us are not, because that's not how we work. We work in a linear fashion. That we do some sort of profession, and we see a result after it. But here, it is multiple item or things that we look at, and what I'm trying to say, that it's many trades that we're looking at here. It's not just one action. It is over the course of many actions. You've mentioned it so many times on these webinars, that the main thing that you see where traders struggle is trade management. They understand the setups, they get great entries, but they totally mismanage the trade.
I totally agree with you. And in the meantime, just to share with you how kind of manipulating stuff and only scalping mode chart is SOBR is this. A few minutes ago, I wrote, wait, high day fake out or golden zone high. Golden zone high is this my yellow level. Too short, SOBR. What happened? And this I said at 59, so I said it when we were over here. Fake out of what? Of the golden zones, this yellow area. Push, dump. So this is, as said, Bruce, is not a, and you see, what I preach, I say. So before the pattern. This is not something that you learn overnight. So only if you read 10,000 stocks, price action for 1,000 of hours, and you learn with, losses, you learn to see how the market reacts on these patterns, because not everything will work like SOBR. This is a different type of manipulation today. And also you consider that you have to take scalps, because that's already your target. If you take 10 cents out of this, then half you put a stop over here in the money. Goes down, good. Doesn't go down, you stop it. So this is a scalping environment. If you simply wait for, the big trade over here, the only way is possible how they fake out like C. Wilkins did on MNTV. Otherwise, nothing else. What are we having also? A wedge, uptrend line. And you can see over here, it's like getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This is a wedge. Wedge generally is the best opportunity for me to make money, because on the wedge, I love the fake outs and then boom. And this, if we have the luck to have this today, oh geez, this will be a so much good collection over here of poor bull traders, and they're gonna dump like 240, 250. So we're gonna look for possibility that, okay, this is a one scenario. If this one scenario will come, we will play it. Make sense, Bruce?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been saying, like, in the webinars recently, it's like, okay, on any trade that someone takes, any trade, what is the one thing that it has in it, inherently? And the answer is risk. So
Yeah.
how do you manage your risk? So
You
first
know,
off,
my
it,
answer,
it even
when you said that, my answer mentally was low risk.
yeah, yeah. And no, people get it, and people understand that concept. We all understand that concept, but applying it and with action is something very different. And the we've talked about this before, and you said, oh yeah, it's risk, managing the risk. However, you first need to understand you have an edge. You have to. Otherwise, what is risk management? I mean, you're just risk managing just, crappy stuff. Yeah, maybe it works a little bit here and there, saves you, but you're not going to make much. You have to have
Yeah,
an edge. So,
exactly.
and then you have to, then basically, there's the leap of faith. You trust your edge and you take it every time. Yeah, you understand. It's like rolling dice in craps. I've been using that word 3 times now. The game craps. All right. So
Everybody knows you're repetitive.
the game. I don't like that. But let's talk about the gambling, like the game craps. Like every roll. There's a multitude of possibilities. However, most of the time, a 7 should pop up. Okay, and that's what and then an 8 and then a 6, because that's the probabilities of it. Therefore, do you have an edge or not? If you do, you should manage it correctly. So a very, very simple example, but I think it's very challenging to apply that in the markets, because they're doing so many crazy things. But you have to kind of take a step back and fit it within your plan, which is exactly what you've been doing for years.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing what may or could happen. At Netflix, if we have a 5 minute inside bar, Zayline curl on the next 30 minutes is going to be a good long. So I'm looking for this pattern over here. Not long yet. So this is what I'm looking for right now. And it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. So today, beside Chris Wilkins, I have a new trader over here. He's from the currency I live. He's a friend of mine. And I hope I didn't scare him, because today, for example, the market in small caps was crazy. Like no straight fader. Just like look this manipulation on SOBR over here that we had this morning was crazy. Look this. This is not a good stock to trade. Or MNTV. This is not a good stock to trade. Fail, push, fail, push, fail, push. Crazy, 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 crazy price action. And I always say, if you want to trade something more simple, trade big caps. Trade big caps. Trade big caps. Or futures.
Yeah, but then just note that you're not going to get half the opportunities that you are with all these other setups that you're taking.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, I mean, that's what people have to understand. It's like, okay, I'm going to trade big caps. All right, like, let's make money. I'm ready. And it's like, well, you've told us over the years here that you get maybe 3 good setups or 4 good setups per week in some of the large caps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to scalp, there's much more setups. Okay. But if you want to um, day trade, I would say you will have like one setup good a day. This is one of the scalpers that I'm following. This is the level of scalping that he does. Of course, he doesn't pay commission with certain routes, but this is the level of scalping. When you trade this, it's a different scenario. When you trade instead, this kind of trading or this kind of trading is more like sniper point, one trade, that's it. So different styles, and this is based on your personality, like we were saying before. So
Ju-
here, no setup yet.
Joseph, I have a question for you on this SOBR. Um,
Mhm.
the Yeah, catchy little ticker name there. But Uh, I don't quite understand the small cap land. Like, I mean, you've described it. However, they have their business is to raise money by trading in here. It appears,
Hmm.
and you're looking for that, the pump and dump, and because these obviously their burn rate, they're struggling. So they're
Hmm.
public, so this is how they're doing it. Um, but how much, like this, that SOBR right now, that they've pumped it a bunch of times. It's like you're competing with them with they have a lot of cash to be able to pump it.
Hmm.
So I guess the answer is they just very, very careful risk management, because they'll just turn around and it's like, well, let's go a little bit higher this time, and then we'll be able to dump it. If there's people hanging in the trade and they're shorting, it's like, well, we didn't get the size that we needed yet, so let's pump it again. And if you look at that SOBR chart, they've pumped it several times now, trying to do that. Or do you it? Am I right in the business model, or is this the kind of behavior that they have?
Yes. Every stock is different. We have one thing. Uh, Big caps are generally trend following. Small caps are generally counter trend. Why? The majority of the gaps that we have in small cap, they fade down to where they came from day one, day two, day three. And this with more than 85% of all small caps that ever were traded, based in the last setups. Sorry, based in the last stats in the last 5 years of the last 5 years. So when we know this, we have I would say, an edge. We know that they will fail. 85% in no more than 3 days will go back to where they came from. What does it mean? If you invest in small cap land, your probabilities to invest in a company and have a return after 1 year are very, very low. So why this happens? You are Bruce. Bruce is a CEO of a company. You go to, I don't know, Wainwright or whatever, and so you go by two lawyers. You have a 10 million market cap company. 2% of institutional hold your company. You want to raise money because you have to fund basically your new toilet paper that you're putting on the market. You don't have money to do that. And you think your toilet paper is good. So you put out press releases saying that the toilet paper you're making really not going to have you rashes. And at the same time, you call Wainwright, you make like you work for an offering and you look to raise 5 million through an offering, or you play some warrants. So for investors to get warrants to get exercise at 3.45. Your stock right now is 2.45. So you expect to collect 5 millions and blah blah blah. Put out the press release. Everybody thinks this toilet paper will be like the next generation. So you will see that on TVs and everything. You pump it, you put out the news, you use newsletters. Chat pumps will also look to improve this by making morning fake breakouts, thinking that this is very good, seeing the volume, following scanners, alerting this. They have 2,000 to 3,000 followers. Everybody's gonna buy them, and then it's gonna do like MNTV today or SOBR today, or ATXI yesterday, or VAV 2 days ago, or BMRA like 4 days ago, or like IMRA like 4 days ago, or like all of these. So you got the point that they will push when they're satisfied. Sometimes they won't get the price of the exercise warrants to get reached, but they will still get like enough money to raise their S3 after they're like foreigners, and then they will simply dump on poor retailers who will get like more, I would say, depressed, frustrated because they're losing money and they have no clue on how small cap land works. So at that point, you will try to get a short because you see that longs don't work. And by shorting, you will simply get in stop all the time because you have no strategy. You will change, you will try to add, you will blow up, you will retry it again, you will lose 1 or 2 years. Eventually, you will learn how to trade, but that will cost you like a lot of depression, a lot of frustration, a lot of stress. Then you will get a mentor like me, and then you will work your ass out to become a pro trader. That's the point of the work that we're doing.
So who's pumping this?
everybody's pumping. By chatroom are the secondary. The first ones are really the company that tries to pump as much as they can to raise. The higher the price, the better.
Right.
So if I can raise 5 million, why not raise 10 million? Okay, why I have to dump my shares, let's say at $2, in that case at 4.45 bucks, if I can dump it at 5.
Okay.
And then
That's
also you have speculators. So you have like big hands. Could be an institution, could be like some big trader that wants to make money that day. So maybe the float is very small, like 500K, 2 mil. So they're trying to flow rotate as much as they can, trap more traders, push it up, 2, 3 flow rotation, then dump on that for fake breakouts.
okay. That was the answer I was looking for. Is like that they have the cash to be able to originally pump it and to advertise via the tape. And they got the press release, they got whatever it is out there, and then that gets people interested. They start buying it. It's the next best thing. And then other people come in, and then that's where the move happens. And then that's when the short, you look for them to cover at a certain point and then dump it.
Exactly. The point of the game is the timing. So you know already 85% in maximum 3 days will fail. You know that you have to find a level to short. Level to short is back confirmed by Bookmap. So when I say Bookmap, there's a lot of strategies, not only looking, oh, that resistance. That's part of the equation. Learn the strategy, learn the patterns, learn how to read Bookmap, then you have an edge and you can make money in the market. That's the point.
So,
Very, very easy.
for example, McLovin is asking, when they are pumping it and own most of the float, they are essentially trading with themselves to pump it?
Also, also, so McLovin, this is a guy that I love, right? And because I was in Denver and he flew from Miami to come to visit us at the meeting in Denver. So good morning, McLovin. Thank you, buddy, for being here. So when they're pumping it and own most of the floor, essentially trading with themselves to pump it, of course they pump it, but then they need retailers to buy it. Okay, so they will pump enough to make retailers getting interested. So retailers will jump in and they need the wagon of the retailers to dump on them. They're not going to dump on themselves. So let's say maybe they buy parts of the float and retailers will come in, they will buy the remaining of the float, will flow rotate, will push back up. They will maybe have a fake breakdown. Maybe they can rebuy a little bit of the fake breakdown. Let's say we have this fake breakdown over here. They will rebuy it over here in order to pump. Retailers will see the breakout, push this back up again. And then when they will see a possible fake breakout, this is not on Netflix, fake breakout, they will dump on them. Okay, so they're using retailers. Without retailers, they cannot do anything. If there won't be any single buy out there of retailer on their pumps, they won't do any kind of profit. They will actually lose money or just like, continue to hold their shares.
So can you explain what you look for in Bookmap for that? I know you've done this so many times in the past, but it's a good time to go over that. What you look for Bookmap in those moments.
I want to bring up only one, Bruce, example. Can I?
Yeah, sure, sure.
So the example I'm going to put is this. Amazon. Okay. This is Amazon traders. Open in Amazon. Level of resistance, 129 and 90. Level of Bookmap, 129 of 90. Seeing that rejection, I can short. Or in this case, long, I can sell. Then I want to buy the stock because I have my strategy, my chart pattern. So I need a strategy. I'm looking for the strategy that tells me this is the level that I want to buy. So the level of where I want to buy is 128, 128 and 50. Bookmap gives me a big support at 128. So what I'm doing, I'm risking 50 cents. Loading the boat long, starting to sell on the rip. Risking 50 cents, I make like average 1.5 buck return per share. 3R return. How you make money even with a 40% win rate. buy on Bookmap support plus pre-market support plus my strategy. That's it. Very easy.
All right, there it is.
I'm watching over here again our friend Netflix, which is just like a little bit sideways action over here. As I said, inside bar in the 5 minutes. This will be a good long, still not there. We had several dips into the J lines, but no fake washout, no inside bar, no dip, no curl that I want yet. Waiting. We didn't have any kind of great setup while we were in this hour of talking together, but I think we covered so many good things together. And what I want is that traders understand to never give up. Never, never give up. Now, this is the reason. This is a trader who, before making this for 3 years, lost money. So never give up. That's the point. Because eventually you can get to these results or even better. Never give up. Now we'll hold again the support. We'll look for that. 5 minutes. Meanwhile, SOBR Bruce is still sideways. Oh, it's still sideways, still where it came from, like open level 320.
Yeah, I just have kind of visions of like the board or hanging around going, come on, can't we pump it some more?
Yeah, but I don't know. Probably they sold everything over here. I don't know. Just very strange how they're holding. Expecting an afternoon dump on this. The volume for now is very, very low. You can see that. I'm gonna put this up. SOBR. You can see over here that we really have no more volume. The last 30 bars had an average of volume 57K. We're not talking about Netflix, a $280 stock. We're talking about a $3 stock. So 57K per minute on the last 30 bars is extremely low. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing that we talk about many times, like in the webinars about. We know that like the small cap land is very tricky and not for the faint of heart. But the uh, you know getting where you're going to get people trapped in a trade, well, they're compelled, they're forced to exit or trade and look for that kind of behavior in the chart as well. So where they're dumping it, where people are, oh yeah, this is going to, I'm going to buy the breakout and because it's going to $20 or something, and then that's the trap.
Oh yeah.
Like you're saying, your fake breakouts and your stuffs.
Yeah. They're not working. Breakouts, they're not working. Bruce, 11:30. I think market over here is not giving any other signals. Do we have any questions?
No, very kind of quiet here today. Bert is asking whose P&L that was.
The one I shared before, a trader who I mentored in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and and there you go too. If you guys are interested, I put the into the chat there. Oh, and let's end the poll. It looks like most people aren't trading small caps like you that with low floats. 61% say no. So I'll end that poll. And then um, the your links I put into the chat a few times. So it's over in Discord. It's in YouTube here. So if anyone's interested in reaching out to Joseph and his mentorship, you've got it. And come over to our Discord room as well. It's over there. And yeah, reach out to JTrader.
Bruce, it's time we're gonna make. It's time to make a seminar in New York.
Sounds great. I'm game. Uh, yeah, I'll have to talk with the team here and try to arrange something like that.
Yeah, because we'll be, pretty good. And I think a lot of people, at least a lot of people, like wrote me if we're gonna do something. I think it would be something, to catch traders, to make, a book map also more visible. And we have a lot of friends in New York, right? Besides my bear.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still pushing for the San Marino seminar, but
Here there are like two or three traders in Italy, maybe four or five. But this summer I will make in Tuscany, in a villa in Tuscany, a 4 days of intense trading, so live trading together with me. So this will be good. I will keep you informed.
yeah, yeah. I wanna be there for that.
I will invite you. I will invite you.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Joseph. Any parting words?
Uh, just keep traders always your stop loss and please don't blow up. Okay, learn from what we say every single time. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bookmap traders. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Questions always, and take care. Bye bye.